meeting of New Iberia City Council to order. We have the prayer and the pledge led by Councilwoman Natalie Roman.
I'm strong. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father,
who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Councilmember Natalie Roban.
present.
Councilmember Peggy Jarrett.
Present.
Councilmember Robert Weir.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dan Doyle.
Here.
Councilmember David Merrill.
Here.
Councilmember Raymond Lewis.
Present.
And Councilmember Calvin Bingham.
Here.
Here for you.
Okay, the first agenda item, well, first of all, we're going to strike agenda item 3A. Mr. Lewis chose not to
Yes, ma'am.
address the council this evening, and I would ask you if we could move agenda item 4 up behind agenda item 2, because Ms. French has another meeting after this. So the first agenda item is public comment, and I don't have any cards. I don't think that anyone's completed a card. The next agenda item is acceptance of the minutes of the October 4th, 2016 meeting as published on Friday, October 14th, 2016.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Bagno, I'm sorry. Second was Mr. Merrill. Is there any discussion? Any objection? No objection, motion carries. Now we'll move agenda item 4 up, and it's the 2016 Red Ribbon Campaign. And we have Darlene French here from the school board, and where's my proclamation? Here it is. Okay, we have a proclamation, and it's, whereas the problems associated with illegal use of drugs have become prevalent in every community, regardless of the size and location. And whereas the United States has now turned its energies toward the battle against drugs in its own neighborhoods. Whereas it is imperative that visible, unified, preventative education efforts by community members be launched to reduce the demand for drugs. And whereas success will not occur overnight, patience and continued commitment to drug education and prevention are imperative. And whereas the 2016 Red Ribbon theme will be "Every Day is a Choice, Live Drug-Free," to focus on the importance of strengthening parent-community networks in creating an environment in which our youth may live a healthy, drug-free life. Therefore, be it resolved that the City of New Iberia does hereby proclaim October 21st through the 28th, 2016, as Red Ribbon Week, and encourages all citizens to participate in drug prevention activities, making a visible statement that we are strongly committed to a drug-free community. And I'd like to give this proclamation to Ms. French. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, I'd like to thank the council, as usual, for your support. If you notice, in front of you, I put a copy of the drug-free guide, which is where we put our monies this year to try to use as education, not just for our students, but also for the community. I have several activities, if you'll look in there. There's some for young children, there's some for even high school. I point out the essays from the students. The essays were exceptional, but it lets us know that our upcoming citizens, what they think about this. I do want to ask you for your support. A red ribbon on your business door, all of that is letting us know. People have asked me, does that really make a difference? No, that doesn't make a change. What makes a change is the people. But it lets people know that you're supporting, we want a drug-free lifestyle. I've done this for a very long time, as you all know, and it's not that we're promoting a Red Ribbon Week one time. It is that in the school system, I'm hoping to give kids the other side of the story. They get things on the street, may not get things from their parents, so we're hoping in the school system to give them another side, to when they make that choice, as our theme says, every day they have a choice, and hopefully it will be to live drug-free. So I want to thank all of you, and especially to the mayor, because you have been so supportive over the years. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. The next agenda item are candidate announcements, and the first person to address the council this evening is Mr. Roy Cruz. He's a candidate for mayor.
Thank you. I'm Roy Cruz III, Libertarian candidate for mayor. Politically, I'm a classical liberal. My style of politics is fiscally disciplined and socially inclusive, highlighting personal responsibility and voluntary cooperation. Government should perform only the limited task it is constitutionally empowered to complete, and then leave us, the people, alone to enjoy our own pursuits of happiness. Information on my campaign is available at www.rbc3.net. While walking New Iberia's streets, I've discovered good things in unexpected places. I didn't fully realize before the August rains that most of New Iberia is built on land that is high, dry, and well drained. Our mild climate, which I'm going to try to stop referring to as hot and humid, must seem like heaven to snowbirds who come down here, and they may wish to stay after they sample the food and get to know the neighbors or the locals, or vice versa. New Iberia property taxes are downright cheap compared to almost anywhere in America, but don't try telling that to anybody who already lives here, particularly during a campaign. Even sluggish real estate prices, which are a curse to those who want to bail out of town, may offer exceptional value to people who are looking to move to this area or to upgrade their homes. Bayou Teche is much cleaner and healthier than it was just a few years ago, and it's still improving, largely to people present in this room. Educational opportunities for children and young adults are good within the city, and they rise to excellent for those willing to travel a few miles for schooling. Our biggest asset, however, it's not a collection of nostalgic storefronts or historic buildings. It's not great food. It's not even French is spoken here. It's a triumphal human spirit, a joy in living that the people demonstrate every day in countless generous, caring, and hospitable ways. While we share this heritage with Breaux Bridge, St. Martinville, Broussard, Youngsville, Lafayette, and other places, New Iberia can stand apart by being a little bit freer, a little bit more open to change, a little less burdened by regulation and taxes. New Iberia can become a place where opportunity is expanding for the many, not just the few, and a place where there's a level playing field for all businesses. So despite all the gloom and doom about the local economy, New Iberia may be poised for a kind of extended growth that the nation achieved in the late 1980s and early 1990s. However, there are two elements to economic growth that are lacking. We don't have private sector job creation. We don't have a feeling that our persons and our property are safe and secure. If the next group of city trustees can restore the people's confidence in local law enforcement, new employment opportunities will bloom without the need for costly enticements. The feedback I'm getting from listening to people is that most everyone is ready for a change, a return to local policing if we can afford it. Having reviewed the comparative analysis prepared for the city by the International Association of Chiefs of Police in 2009, New Iberia can reestablish its own city police force for a lot less money than you might think. But I'm not asking anyone to take my word for it. Please look at the data yourself. I will make a PDF copy via email or a hard copy of the policing options study available to anyone who requests the same through my website at rbc3, as in Roy B. Cruz III.net. That is Romeo Bravo Charlie 3.net. If you call me, please call me if you're not on the interweb, and I'll get a copy to you. Now, a lot of things have changed in the 7 years since the International Chief Study was published, but inflation has been extremely low. The will of the people to maintain New Iberia as a self-governing community is still strong. If there is a more recent study of policing options out there, I want to see it, but more importantly, the voters deserve to see it. Campaigning agrees with me. I've dropped pounds, I've sharpened my mental focus, and I've developed a farmer's tan. I like meeting and listening to new and interesting people every day. Like me, many of them are hopeful that New Iberia's best days are still ahead of us. Having embraced a new challenge, I'm enjoying the experience so much, I want it to go on for an extra 4 weeks past November 8th. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thank you for your kind attention. I'm Roy Cruz III, Libertarian candidate for mayor of New Iberia.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. The next person to address the council is Ms. Pat Guzaffi, and she is a candidate for councilman in District 3, councilwoman in District 3.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Well, as many of you know, I am Pat Guzaffi, okay? And I am working for a District 3 council seat. And it's about me and what I can do. I was the first woman ever elected on the Iberia Parish Council. And I served on many, many committees. And like today, we had budget problems, major budget problems. Sewer District 2, I'll never forget. I walked into a sewer district problem when I took office. But we got out of it. We got on a jet, we went to let me get to my my notice here. We went to Washington, D.C., and we met with our congressman, which was Billy Tozan then, and he threw some money at us, and we were able to come home and know that we could finish that. And I still love him and think about him a lot. We are facing a very large problem in this city, law enforcement. And all together, we can serve these problems, and I am ready to go to work. So this evening, I will not keep you any longer. I will let the next person talk, and thank you very much. Good night.
The next person to address the council this evening is Mr. Dustin Swear, and he's not a candidate. He is going to be your new council member for District 6. He's council member elect.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and to the citizens. I'm pleased to announce my non-candidacy and introduce myself to you guys for District 6 for the city of New Iberia. I'm humbled and greatly honored for the opportunity to represent not only District 6, but also the city of New Iberia. Although I will be running unopposed, I will continue to treat this campaign as I planned from the very beginning. I will continue to attend current city council meetings, talk to citizens, and walk door to door, and allow the residents to have a voice and one that can be heard. I'm married to Ms. Blair Swear, who is currently just named the vice chairman of the Iberia Tourism Board, which I'm very proud of her for that. I was born and raised and reside here in New Iberia. I am the son of Michael and Jody Swear. My grandfather, 6 generations back, Miguel Romero, was one of the first settlers to arrive on the first ship, who was one of the founding members of this community. My grandmother's maiden name is Romero. My great-grandfather, Albert Darby, began his career with the New Iberia City Police Department. He was then promoted captain and major before his retirement. He then went on to become the lead investigator for the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office under Sheriff Watney. At this time, he was honored to be appointed the first president of the Police Association of the state of Louisiana. He was proud of New Iberia. In fact, I still have in my family possession the minutes to many city council meetings that he collected, because that's how involved he was in local government. I am the grandson of the late Huey Darby, who at the age of 17 started his career right here in New Iberia as a broadcaster for Kane Radio. After 43 years of broadcasting, he retired and was inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame in the early 90s. Many of you remember Randy and the Rockets, who were pretty popular in the area for many years as a swamp pop band. Believe it or not, I had the album on iTunes. My paternal grandfather, after returning from the military, started his career in the oil and gas industry, which leaves me where I am today. I am a proud third-generation operations manager for our local family business right here in New Iberia. When I say that my roots are deep in this town, I mean it. They are just as deep as the live oaks lined up the streets and down the tesh that runs through the heart of this city. I'm not standing here to be a politician, but here in front of everyone to be a true public servant with much respect for the city that I love. Public safety, our children, and the financial status are on the forefront of my mind. Using my business and social skills, I want to invest in our children and do the best that we can convincing our loved ones and friends to stay here instead of taking our tax dollars elsewhere. I have volunteered my time throughout my life and continue to do so. I'm a 2003 Catholic High School alumni, attended SLCC and ULL. I'm a past Key Club member, former volunteer fireman for the Bel Air Olivier Morbihan Station. I'm a current Kiwanis Club member, which we are well known for the Pancake Supper, which will be mid-November, by the way, if anyone wants to know. I'm also a member of the Greater Iberia Chamber of Commerce and many others throughout my life. I look forward to working with the new administration, all city and parish officials to achieve one common goal, and that is to make New Iberia the best it can be with all the resources we have available to make it a better life for our citizens. I am thankful to God, my family, my friends, and my neighbors of District 6 for all the help and support throughout this campaign. Lastly, on behalf of my wife, Blair, and myself, we are excited to introduce a new resident of District 6 and New Iberia, our son, Wyatt Michael. We are truly blessed and so incredibly thankful, and thank you all and may God bless you. Thanks again. My name is Dustin Swear, and I'm the only one on the ballot for District 6.
Thank you. The next person to address the council is Mr. Benjamin Myers, and he is a candidate for District 2.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Benjamin T. Myers. I'm a candidate for the race of City Council seat in District 2. My number on your ballot is number 92 for those interested in our District 2 area. You know, I've been in this arena a long time. I started out with your father and Mr. Tyrone Charles, who sat in that seat, first black minority elected to the seat. And my encounters with those back in those days, it taught me quite a bit. Your dad was one of those who was focused on dealing with franchise contracts. You know, we're talking about like with Clico and Laco at the time, and right now we also have Cox that we're dealing with. And one of his main pet peeves was to take care of his citizens. All right, he offers his citizens relief at every turn of the way that he possibly could. Right now, we're needing that same kind of relief. We have Clico, who had just sold to some Australians. Australians has increased our bills 100%. We're paying right now 7 cents per kilowatt hour, where we're always paying less than 3.5 cents per kilowatt hour since the sale. Look at your bills if you think I'm kidding. It didn't increase dramatically. Cox is in our homes. Cox has put a box on every television in our city that they give service to at $3 rate. It's a fee. It's like taxing us for every television we have in our house. The citizens of District 2 who I've been speaking to around are asking for relief. Now, I can't do this by myself, all right? It's gonna take a unified council to address these issues, because we're looking at those franchise contract, as well as Clico franchise contract. The citizens are also asking for relief from our city ourselves. We're a corporation too. Our sewage user fee. They find it to be very absorbent, you know, and then asking, please, just find a way to roll those sewage user fee back and give the citizens again some relief. Now that covers the entire city, all those things I just mentioned to you. The things that we're looking at respectively in District 2, we need police protection and service. We are without it almost. You know, the crime is out of control. Our liaison spoke and said about crime was the same as it was last year. You know, well, again, that's not an indicator that crime is not increasing. That's an indicator that's how long it's been out of control. All right? So, really. So we need to address that, all right? We need to get our own police department back, all right, where we have control of what happened with our citizens. Also, we have roads in District 2. We need overlaying. This last paving project, we didn't get anything done, but hopefully we can get streets like Field Street, Lombard Street, Anderson Streets, and other streets alike. Robin, I passed through your district. They got Fulton Street where the graveyard, St. Matthew, where a lot of people of District 2 use to visit with their deceased, needs some dire help, bad. I mean, it's almost like a gravel road. But again,
You got rezoned, it's not at the street.
I'm sorry, I'll go on.
That's mine, I take it.
Listen, all right, all right.
I inherited.
You got rezoned, Mr. Morrison.
Yes, okay, that's all right. But these are some of the things that we need to focus on in our particular area. Our area got rezoned too. We all the way across to where we at Woodcrest, and those folks are pretty much Woodcrest and Sunset Boulevard all the way up to Daz Street and Admiral Dahl. You know, they're concerned also about our police, you understand, and our patrol, you understand. And we also need to pay attention to the fact that we did once pass a tax, y'all. All right, a tax to give the sheriff department deputies a raise and increased patrol. I say before we continue on going into these contracts with the sheriff department, let's see what services that we were getting before the contract for that tax dollar. All right, then we can negotiate the contract for what service you're going to render thereafter. These are some of the things that we're concerned about. Also, we're concerned about our drainage in District 2. Now, we know we did the Armico Canal project. You know, personally, a lot of people think it was a Band-Aid approach to surgery. This project was supposed to take the water to the bayou instead of have a retention pond, which one of the gentlemen I spoke with last night says it's just a pit that holds alligators and contributes to the infestation of mosquitoes and rodents alike. And possibly it's true. You understand? I've been back there myself. 4 days in the morning, you see stuff jumping in the middle of the pond. It's the water is not drained out, and that's what we exposed to. And I think that's a misnomer. Also, the folks who's in Spencer Loop, they're still having a problem with Lynn Circle and Spencer Loop back there with the drainage, you know, with flooding. I mean, we have an extreme problem with flooding. It rained just a couple of hours the other day, and I went just to take a look, you know, and we still have the water is holding back there and flooding. So these are some of the things we want to look at. But also in District 2, we have I don't know if it's a lift station for sewage right there on Anderson Street that apparently spills over into the drains, the drain waters. We have a smell, a toxic smell that emits from that area, you know, at particular times that we need to pay attention to in that area, because we have had complaints about that for the last couple of years pertaining to that particular area on Anderson Street, particularly right there where the housing project is. That's where it's really prevalent, you know. Now, also, we're looking at Hopkins Street. You know, our city council talked to the representative from State Representative Terry Landry. Came in. I remember he gave the pitch about taking Hopkins Street as a city street. First of all, I would like to see it remain a state highway, as do the citizens along that highway, especially when we're talking about the economic development in our western community. That's our main thoroughfare. That's to bring people, tourists alike, off of Highway 90 through across Highway 674 along Highway 675, which is Hopkins Street, to Highway 182, which is Main and St. Peter, along to Highway 31, which takes you to St. Martinville. We would like to keep this a state highway and let the state dollars come to work for us, because truly every time you put gas at the pump, you're paying for that road and that road repair work. So don't let anybody tell you that it can't happen. It's you know, it's impossible. It's not going to happen, because it's important to us on that in the town. All right, that's our main thoroughfare when we're talking about bringing tourists through. So we'll have a lot of other things that we would like to address. I'm not going to bore you guys with any more of this. Again, I would like to say, with respect to you all and in respect to the people of District 2, I think that as a unified council, electing myself would help bring leadership to this council, as well as bring unity to this council, because it's going to take all of us to accomplish some of these things that I've cited to you guys, all right? Again, my name is Benjamin T. Myers. On your ballot, I'm number 92. And I'd like to thank you all for giving me the time. I would like to thank the citizens in advance for their vote and support in this upcoming election on November the 8th. Again, thank you all very kindly.
Thank you very much. The next agenda item is agenda item 5, and it's a resolution. I'm sorry, a resolution, Madam Clerk.
A resolution allocating $23,625 from the balance of funding from budget amendment number 2015-2016-13, purchase of a bucket truck, and budget amendment number 2015-2016-14, purchase of a street sweeper, to procure a truck for the Public Works Department.
Motion.
Wait, who said, who made the
Lord.
motion?
Lewis.
Mr.
Well-
Lewis,
Y'all getting
okay.
something out of
We
this?
all
Lewis,
agree.
and then who's
No.
the second? Mr. Lewis made the
It was
motion?
unanimous first.
Okay, and then the second was
Mr. Bagnell.
Yeah.
Mr. Bagnell. Okay, any discussion? And let me just explain,
needed.
first of all, these are funds that were remaining after we received the bids for the bucket truck and the sweeper. And Mr. Leroy has a truck that just died recently, and he would have to start dropping crews off and picking them up. And so I've told him, I said, let's go before the council, and we'll see if we can just get you a new truck.
Basically, he's been operating like Sanford and Son the other day. He got 14 different trucks. and
I don't know, it's.
He needs it bad.
Okay, great. Then if there's no discussion, please vote your machines. Motion carries unanimously. Don't have to be Sanford and Son anymore. Okay, the next one, Madam Clerk.
A
agenda item.
resolution awarding 6 months bids for cleaning and maintenance supplies. High calcium quicklime pebble, liquid chlorine and sulfur dioxide, ferrous chloride solution, dioxide, AE 35, road material, and sanitary sewer materials.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Merrill,
Second.
second by Mr. Bagnell. Is there any discussion?
I have a question, Mayor. I see when we, of course, we take the lowest bidder from each thing, but all the supplies are delivered to New Iberia, to the building. We never have to pick them up if it's,
they deliver.
okay. Because some of these companies are not in New Iberia, that's why I
They
question.
deliver.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Please vote your machines. Motion carries unanimously. The next agenda item is agenda item 5C, another resolution. Madam Clerk.
A resolution awarding annual bids November 1st, 2016 through October 31st, 2017 for sewage pumps, 30-yard dumpsters, and concrete recycling.
Motion by Mr. Swear, second by Mr. Lewis. Is there any discussion? This is formalities. This is an annual bid. Please vote your machines. Motion carries unanimously. The next agenda item is a budget amendment. Madam Clerk.
Budget Amendment 2015-2016, number 24, an ordinance amending the ordinance levying certain taxes, appropriating the funds necessary to defray the expenses and liabilities of the city of New Iberia for the year 2015-2016.
So moved.
A motion by
Second.
Mr. Bagnell, a second by Mr. Merrill. And Fayetta is here this evening. This is a current budget
The
that
current?
we're
Okay.
amending, yes.
Budget.
It's a current budget. Looking for
Mayor, can I ask you something?
my, sure.
On, where's she at? Oh. She's so tiny.
I know you can't.
Jeez, it's like a little teenager. On, this we're adopting is the 2016 budget, but how we ended up what kind of deficit versus what we projected? Because I know it's,
Well, I mean, these are not our final numbers.
But
All
what-
we're doing is budget, I'm doing amendments for any of the line items that had significant changes from the budget to the projection.
so we don't really have a projection of where we'll be at right now.
At the end of the year?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, the best projection we would have is what's in our proposed budget.
Right, for 2017.
And then we won't get that information till when? November?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The final information,
final.
correct.
okay. Thank you.
And this, I mean, just for you all to understand what we're doing, the sales tax, we went from a projection of 5% decline to 8%, just to be safe. And let's see what the others, well, that's actually in each fund.
Yeah, and then anything else, like I said, that was significantly different, so.
What was the total amount deficit of our sales tax collection so far in dollars, not percentage, for 16 so far?
What
You know
we're,
that?
like, compared to the prior year, that was
17,
957?
something, it was 900 and something thousand.
Deficit, less that we.
Less than
than
last
last
year,
year.
almost over
Almost,
900,000.
Yeah.
But we did use some monies to plug that in, because we're gonna end up with, what, less than 100,000?
Deficit? you
Yes.
mean? Yeah.
I remember you sent us some numbers, made some adjustments,
Right, it's gonna be right at $100,000 deficit.
and then on the dollars, it was almost $1 million less in collection we had than we projected, right? Thank you. Thank you.
No, and there was an ad on, interview on television, which was incorrect. It stated that we were using, it said that we had 3.5 million in fund balance, general fund, and that we were using that money to balance our budget, but that wasn't correct. We're gonna have about 3.5 million in non-dedicated funds left at the end of the year. Am I
Right.
correct, Fayetta? So I just wanted y'all to know, if you saw it on the news, that was incorrect. We're not dipping into that fund balance. And we also have about 525,000 in the disaster fund, which is fluid, which you can move. So you have over $4 million right
That's what I
now.
was gonna ask about, 'cause they showed 325,000.
Yeah.
I thought we had replaced it back when we sold.
No, we have, no.
Okay.
It's correct. I
That was
don't,
my
I don't know
question.
where.
Okay.
But anyway, I wanted to make sure that you had that information in case you saw the interview. Fayetta, anything else? Do you have any other questions? Okay, please vote your machines. Motion carries unanimously. The next agenda item is adoption of our budget, and at this time, we'll have a public hearing. I'll ask for a motion by Mr. Swear to open the public hearing, second by Mr. Bagno. Any objection? At this time, the public hearing is open. If there's anyone from the audience that would like to approach the podium and ask questions, or if you have any discussion concerning the budget, this is your opportunity to address the council. All right, I don't think that there's anyone that would like to address the council, so at this time, I'd ask for a motion to close the public hearing. Motion by Mr. Merrill,
Second.
second by Mr. Swear. Any objection? No objection, motion carries. Agenda item 7B, Madam Clerk.
2016-2017, an ordinance adopting a budget for the city of New Iberia for the fiscal year ending October 31st, 2017.
Do we have a motion? Motion by Mr. Bagno, second by Mr. Merrill. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Sure.
This budget for 17, we projecting at what kind of deficit? Yes, ma'am.
For that year, $700,000, almost 701,000.
That's in the general fund?
Correct.
That's for 2017?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Please vote your machines. Motion carries. Ms. Roban, yes. Mr. Rack, yes. Mr. Swear, yes. Mr. Doyle, no. Mr. Merrill, yes. Mr. Lewis, no. Mr. Bagno, yes. The next agenda item is property standards. Mr. Landry?
No, we
Mayor,
gotta-
I have to do the appropriations.
Oh, I'm sorry. Agenda item 7C, an ordinance, Madam Clerk.
This is an ordinance appropriating the funds necessary to adopt the budget for 2016-17. An ordinance levying certain taxes, appropriating the funds necessary to defray the expenses and liabilities of the city of New Iberia for the year 2016-2017, based upon the budget of expenses adopted by the mayor and the board of trustees of said city, and providing for the collection by the city of New Iberia for the year 2016-2017.
Do we have a motion? Mr. Bagno? Second by Mr. Merrill. Is there any discussion? You're appropriating the funds at this time. Please vote your machines. Motion carries. We have one nay, Mr. Doyle. The next agenda item is property standards. Mr. Landry? revisit, and it is 822 West Washington. We have a gentleman here to address the council. If you just state your name again.
Eric Narcisse.
Eric Narcisse. Good to see you, Mr. Narcisse. Thank you for being here. Do you want to tell the council a little bit about your progress?
We doing the yard and everything, but we haven't started on the house yet. A few things we've done to it, but we're gonna get the money next month, so start on the roof. Gonna be the first thing we get done on it.
Very good. You want to vote to give Mr. Narcisse some additional time?
As long as we continue to see some progress, Mr. Narcisse, you know how I roll already. We're glad to give you some more time.
90 days.
90 days.
A motion by Mr. Lewis to extend the time for 90
90
days
days.
on the property at 822 Washington, and a second by Mr. Merrill. Is there any discussion? Any objection?
Mayor,
Yes.
yeah, I just want to let Mr. Narcisse know I'm willing to work as long as work being done. That's been my consistent pattern as an elected official. And I'm not giving you a break because it's election year. I promise you. I promise you that. All right,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Narcisse.
Mr. Narcisse. So motion carries. Announcements, the next city council meeting will be held on Tuesday, November the 1st. The next neighborhood watch meeting for District 4, Mr. Merrill's district, will be held on Thursday, October 20th at 6 p.m. at the Slyman Theater. Please remember to vote on Election Day, which is Tuesday, November the 8th. Early voting will begin October the 25th through November the 1st.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
can our Parks and Recreation Director, I hate to put her on the spot, tomorrow, Council on Aging is celebrating, they have an event tomorrow morning, or is it Friday?
Friday.
What's Friday?
Friday's the 21st.
The 21st? Yeah. So it's at City Park from 9 to 1 o'clock. Public is invited.
Thank you.
Bring your checkbook too.
You know, hey, Mayor, if we had any money in the budget for cameras, we had talked about cameras in the parks in certain areas.
I don't think we have anything in it right now.
We might have to look at that, man, looking at all of
I
this,
know. I wanted y'all to see.
all that damage, man, we got to invest in some cameras.
It's constant. They just destroyed the gazebo in City Park
Huh?
again.
Yeah.
And not only that, they're destroying those lights on Highland Street.
Oh.
I'm very
On a weekly
disappointed.
basis.
I'm very disappointed, and I'm very disappointed.
Okay, motion
Motion
to
to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Thank you.
And then